This is Newcap News with Lauren Poland.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Moses, the wrestlers basketball team both made amazing pushes at the end. I mean, the men undefeated, so they did it all season, but now they're looking forward to the postseason.
Yeah, it's really great. Both teams have really gone on a roll, like you just said.
Yeah.
And the girls obviously taking on SAIT tonight. We'll have a bit of a preview on the guys too as well coming up in sports.
Exciting. And Gerard, winter is here. It snowed quite a bit today.
I like how you say that. Yeah, we did get some more of what we've been seeing over the past few days or so, and we are expecting some more. This is the reality. Yeah, winter's been here. So let's see what we've got at the moment there. That dump is beginning to ease up slightly. The wind chill has stayed with us for the better part of the day. Across the region, that wind chill value went from about a -12 to a -7 or thereabouts during the course of the day, and the humidity up at 90% at the moment. These are the conditions right across the region, mind you. -5 in Cold Lake and area where they saw there. That's the high temperature there from since about 2 o'clock, and so too that high in the Battlefords. We're running a 60% chance of seeing some more, and the details are coming a little later in the cast.
A man allegedly involved in 2 recent drive-by shootings in the border city has been released on bail. 23-year-old Ricky Lysohirka was released on a $5,000 cash reconnaissance after his court appearance February 13th. It was back on December 23rd that the first drive-by occurred outside the Tropical Inn. Police say Lysohirka's vehicle was shot at. Then on January 5th, he was allegedly shot at again in this back alley in a residential Lloydminster neighborhood. But this time, police say he retaliated and found himself behind bars, charged with several firearm-related offenses. RCMP say the shootings are drug-related, but even though Lysohirka is now free, police say residents have nothing to worry about.
Mr. Lysohirka currently is not within the city of Lloydminster, and he's being monitored. The city of Lloydminster can breathe a sigh of relief there and not be concerned about this particular individual.
Now, after over a month in custody, the Crown and defense have agreed upon release conditions that state the accused must adhere to many alcohol and firearm stipulations. Lysohirka will appear in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan Provincial Court on March 19th. A Turtleford RCMP officer has been charged following an investigation into the use of excessive force. The alleged incident happened in April of last year. Constable Kelly Brennan from St. Walburg remains on active duty, although he's facing multiple assault charges. RCMP say the constable was processing a detainee when the alleged assault happened, with the complaint against him coming just days later. Charges were recommended following a review by the Saskatchewan Public Prosecution's Office. Brennan will appear in St. Walburg Court on March 20th. A Good Samaritan is being thanked by the RCMP in Two Hills after a serious head-on collision that could have ended much worse. Crews responded to a call Tuesday night on an unplowed rural road with large snowdrifts. Emergency crews had a hard time due to the depth of the snow. Homeowner Lawrence Kapitsky noticed the crews driving past his home, and he decided to use his plow to clear the road. In an effort to prevent more accidents, Kapitsky also cleared several kilometers in the area. Around 100 border city ladies got together today, sharing ideas and support for one another at the first annual Inspiring Women's Conference. Kelsey Bloxham attended the event and brings us this report.
Bringing an event like this to Lloyd has been a dream for the event's organizers.
Well, we just felt that there was an opportunity. There wasn't anything similar to this going on, and so we thought, well, let's give it a try. And listening to Linda Edgecombe last year at Vermilion's event inspired us.
The day started with a panel of 3 local women, followed by group sessions on a variety of topics, including fitness and finance.
We all go through the same struggles and battles and journey of life, and so I think what is so cool about it coming to Lloyd is just that it's locally based, and that I think it's all of us admitting our weaknesses, and through that just growing in strength.
There seemed to be lots of laughter and listening during the panel, so we'll take that as a good sign.
The fitness seminar was definitely the most popular of the breakout sessions, but the ladies here really just wanted a chance to get together and connect with other females.
Just hearing from other women in the community and seeing what's going on in the community.
She adds with her busy schedule, this was a great chance for her and her coworkers to get out of the office.
For us, because we do work together, but we don't really see each other a lot in the office, that it's kind of a nice time to spend with each other.
All in all, the event was a huge success, empowering both the organizers and those taking part. Kelsey Bloxham, Newcap News.
The Saskatchewan government is warning the public of a scam that hit one resident hard. The Saskatchewan Financial Services Commission, or SFSC, says UFX Bank took roughly $27,000 from a resident through its website. The SFSC has issued a cease trade order against the bank, which also has been sanctioned in other countries around the world. It's believed UFX Bank operates from somewhere in the UK, but nothing has been confirmed. Anyone contacted by any representative of the UFX Bank should contact SFSC's Security Division at the number on your screen. Coming up, dreams came true for two Border City families last night. Find out why after the break. An emotional night for two Border City families as they now have a safe, secure place to call home. After 8 months of hard work, Habitat for Humanity handed over the keys of its latest build yesterday.
It all started with a simple wish from a little boy.
My son had asked me if we could buy him a house a couple years ago, and then it wasn't in our future, like it wasn't in our picture. And then when Habitat came to us, it was finally like I was able to promise him, yeah, we're getting you a house and it's going to be better for you.
And a better home is just the beginning. Valarie, her husband Lyndon, and their 3 kids lived in unthinkable conditions for any family before Habitat stepped in.
The basement was really bad and we had no place for our kids to sleep.
It was very damp. All the windows were like painted shut, so there was no way of, like, if there's a fire, there's no way we'd get out.
Hundreds of volunteers banded together for the build. It was Morris Johnstone's first time picking up a hammer for Habitat.
I think that we need to look out for those that need help. And I don't know how much help they need, but a lot of people need something.
The Mitchells were one of 2 families given the keys to their new home. Building the duplex took just over 8 months, with each family putting in their fair share of hard labor, the Mitchells clocking over 500 hours. In total, Habitat has given 7 families a fresh start in the Border City since opening its doors a decade ago.
You know, to see their faces tonight, I think it just puts it all into perspective, and it's all so worth it.
And for this mother, the greatest gift of all, granting her son's wish and making a dream come true for her family of 5.
Just being able to tell them, like, this is permanent, this is your home.
A Canadian children's author's work is being shared by a company from Saskatoon in a less conventional way than just a book. As Clayton Brown explains, some of Canadians' favorite childhood stories were told through a live puppet show to some lucky students in Cold Lake.
Show and Tell by Robert.
It was a morning full of excitement for the students from the Art Smith Aviation Academy as they got to see 6 Robert Munch stories brought to life by puppets.
I really liked it. I normally don't get to see things like that, but me and my friends got right into it. Andrew's loose tooth the best.
And why is that?
Because I think it was cool how they got the tooth fairy to come over and the voices there.
Munch's stories have been shared for generations and always seem to captivate children.
I think it's just the right amount of crazy, like the right amount of wacky. And I just think for a kid, you know, that's just, it's almost as if Robert just tells stories through a kid's imagination.
Every child has grown up on Robert Munch, and so to have the opportunity to see a real-life puppet show like this, of this caliber, it was an amazing experience for them.
The dentist can't give this tooth out, and I can't eat my breakfast.
The puppet show travels throughout Saskatchewan and Alberta, and the talent behind the theatre is always amazed with the students' response.
We have 200 to 300, sometimes even 500 kids who just laugh and scream and just react to everything that we do. So it's a beautiful thing. It's wonderful.
The show will stop in Bonnyville on Friday. In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
The Vic Juba Community Theatre recently played host to Saskatchewan native Belle Plaine. As Gerard Lampow tells us, the singer's album Notes from a Waitress is making big strides across the country.
In the first week of its release, her new album is #1 on the CJSR in Edmonton and is #6 on the National Jazz Chart. Her shows in Regina, Calgary and Saskatoon are all sold out. She describes the album as a retro swing feel with references to her many travels.
Some of these songs were written, you know, the song Waikiki really just came out. I showed up in Waikiki, I hated it. I sat on the balcony of the high-rise that I was in and I wrote the song, and then there it was done.
Born and raised on a farm near Foston, Saskatchewan, Belle Plaine, aka Melanie Hankowich, is a true prairie girl. She studied jazz at Grant MacEwan College. She's on her first Western Canadian tour and clearly loving it.
Well, we do a big mix of musical styles, so we go right from old country, you know, the sort of thing that Willie Nelson was doing with Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and then we do some jazz stuff, so it goes from, you know, 3-part harmonies in country music to more upbeat swing style.
She gives us her take on the new album.
It's very upbeat, and it gets your toe tapping, and it's got a few songs on it that I think really showcase me as a vocalist and the training that I've had, and it's just a really tight band.
And her performance with her bandmates says it all. Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.